For those watching at home, CIAC is pushing Hill 1 with a tie. I think it's an aerodynamic aid for them.
Yeah. And that is Alexander May in the mid-80s, kind of white shirt, dark tie, dark pants look. And I believe this is one of their buggies that has a retractable push bar, so be on the lookout for that. And we are off on this race as Beta's A-team is definitely pulling out to a little bit of a lead, but CIAA, even with the tie on, is only about a buggy length behind. So hopefully Beta B won't be, or Beta's A-team won't be beat by a guy with a tie. Otherwise, I don't think he'll be let back in the house. But make the transition from Hill 1 to Hill 2. And CIA making their transition again to a guy not only in a tie, but in a suit and a tie. So we have CIA agents in suits and ties pushing buggies. I guess staying true to their organization's name and theme. As Beta went off into the free roll, probably a good 10 seconds ahead of CIA. And even though we don't have the clock up on the coverage, looks like decent time for Beta, but I suspect their clock time is probably going to be closer to about a minute.
Yeah,
stop sign.
Problem Child out in front. They had a pretty good open over the hill time, but the roll here on the smooth part looks pretty smooth. We'll see what happens in the shoot. Problem Child has been a problem child for Beta.
And it reaches the stop sign. And
I have about a 1:04. There's no running clock right now, but we have our own clocks going, so a little bit slower, but they tend to have the ability to get fast.
And actually, CIA
a pass going on right at the
outside.
transition flag. A pass, CIA passing on the outside. CIA has now pulled in front and taking their transition flag. Problem Child also taking the shoot flag. CIA smoothly through the shoot. Problem Child falling. Also, no real issues going through the shoot.
Looks like Problem Child is slowing down. It may not even make it up the backside.
Push bar has come back up. We'll see if it has locked in place or not.
We're watching on video, Mark, but it seems like I'm watching a buggy race in slow motion.
Yeah, it is like watching it in jello.
And Beta did have to go into the back part of the chute in front of Scaife to pick up the buggy, as CIA is now ahead by about 5 seconds.
We'll be seeing another pass here in a second.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, here it comes.
Okay. Now, although the Hill 3 pusher for CIA was styling in both the suit and tie, not just the tie, as their Hill 4 pusher is just doing the tie thing. But looks like Beta is taking a lead again and is getting about 100 feet ahead.
And Hill 4 pushing at 210 means they're probably not going to make it to day 2.
Okay, and they're coming up on Beta's final transition to Hill 5 with a time on the clock of 2:20. So even with a strong 20-second Hill 5 time, this would be an 18 time of about 2:40. And I've got to think not the strongest time for Beta's 18s.
Beta, who had won in the past, who had history, Beta's one of the few teams, and I'm going to check this 1 second, that I think got below a 210 at one point. Yes, Beta had their record A time is a 2:09.16.
And so they're crossing the finish time there of about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Definitely not on par with some of their past.
Now, again, I'm so impressed by the STC Women's A.
Women's A team.
Oh, okay. Well, the 225 beat Beta's Men's A by 15 seconds.
Yes.
Okay. That would have been inconceivable in the 90s. Right?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. But CIA making it across the line with a time closer to about 2:47. I love the shirt and tie look. And I've got to wonder whether or not that shirt and tie look is going to continue on to their B or A team. As it was very styling. I don't think we did see the B team in shirt and ties or suit and ties. So I guess that's probably a sign. But definitely, I think the story from the last race was a bit of a disappointing finish for Beta.
Yeah, and you know they're at the drop test right now, and it's tough to see an organization with such a history like Beta and them not really be as unified as they should be. I've heard that some Betas push for fringe, some push for SDC. They're all over the place. Really, I think Beta has the ability to build a buggy, to have pushers to push that thing, and if they came together as a group together, to be a really solid organization that could be looking at day 2 every single year.
But CIA getting ready for their drop test, as getting ready to release the buggy, and it'll get to the flag, break, and successfully break, release, and break again.